Welcome everybody, Christina Wolf here for the weekly carpool party and energy update. It is Sunday, October 14th, and I am going to wait a few seconds here to see if a few people pop on. Let me light my candle and my incense here. Hold on. Hey Kimberly, welcome. How are you? Let me know how your week is going. Hey, good morning. I'm lighting my incense here. It's a new scent called Nag Champa. Someone recommended it to me and it smells lovely. How has your week gone? Welcome, Rebecca. How are you? Let me know if you guys would like a card for you. I've got my herbal tarot, the animal medicine cards for later, the new spirit animal cards, which I really like, and then the ones that I'm really enjoying, the mystical shaman oracle deck. I'm going to be pulling a card for Courtney. She didn't specify which one, so I'm going to give her an oracle card. So let me know, Kimberly or Rebecca, which one you'd like. Whatever one is calling to you. Let me know if you want me to pick one for you. And I'll see if a few more people pop on here. All right. So Kimberly wants an oracle card. All right. I'm just inviting a few people. All right. And Rebecca wants an oracle card. Perfect. Okay. So, how's everybody feeling though? It's been kind of like a pressured week for me. Of course, there's lots of this like Scorpio energy. In fact, I think we have 3 planets in Scorpio. Hold on, let me see. I made a few notes. So yeah, hey Bridget, let me know what you want for a card. Welcome. Let me know how your week's going. Yeah, good. Oh, Kimber says good overall. We're getting ready for a friend's memorial service today. So, oh yes, prayers as always. It's always good to honor our friends and loved ones who've passed. Definitely, I was doing some ancestry work, and I made a recording for Dr. Daniel Foer's book, Ancestral Medicine. Inside his book, that sounds much more glamorous than it is. Inside of his book, he's got exercises on how to connect with your ancestors and loved ones who've passed, and one of them, and he recommends that you record it and play it back, and so you can do the exercises. And I did that last night, and so while I was doing that, I really got kind of in connection with the 4 main bloodlines of my ancestors and lineage, and it was really a powerful experience. Excellent book, Ancestral Medicine, Dr. Daniel Foer, F-O-O-R. If you have not familiarized yourself with him or know anything about him, he is an initiate in the Ifa tradition, which is from Nigeria. He's a white guy. He lives in Nashville, North Carolina. I'm planning to take his ancestral medicine practitioner course coming up in 2020. So, and it's a bit of a big undertaking. So I'm really looking forward to that, because I think that'll segue nicely with this childhood trauma work that I'm doing, because we are the pinnacle of our ancestors. We are the end result of everything that they've ever done, karmically and physically, frankly. And so honoring our ancestors, honoring where we come from, is so important. And one of the things that I'm going to be offering is for anybody here who would like to share this Facebook group and the card pull party with anyone else that they think will really benefit from this space. Up until November 3rd, after the Mexican holiday of Días de los Muertos, which is the Day of the Dead, it's in alignment with Samhain, which is the Celtic New Year, and also a time to honor our relatives or ancestors who've passed. I am going to offer a, it's called a Samhain Ancestor Tarot reading. It's not my design, but my beautiful cousin sent it to me. And let me see, I'll show you. Here it is, a little chart that I have here. You can't really read it up close, but by someone named Angie Inkst. And I believe she's a Wiccan witch, and she does tarot readings, but she created this one that's related to connecting to your ancestors. So I would like to offer that to whoever sends the most referrals to the group by November 3rd, after Días de los Muertos, so the Day of the Dead, and, you know, Samhain. So anybody who'd like to participate, I will be very grateful. It's all about quality, really, over quantity. You know, I like this group and how we are nice and intimate, and when we come together, it's very meaningful. So I just would like to get the information to people who really need it out there. And so if you have friends, relatives, acquaintances that you know are interested in this work, either early childhood trauma recovery or ancestral medicine, or just learning about shamanic practices, you know, I'm a perpetual student, and I like to share what I'm doing. So back to what I was saying about the energy this week. If you're just popping on and you want a card, say hi and let me know what kind of card you'd like. I'm going to scroll down here and see who's here. Welcome, Charlotte. Welcome, Chris. Welcome, Michelle. Okay, yes, Bridget would like an animal card. Perfect. Good morning, Chris. Welcome, welcome, welcome. An animal oracle card. Perfect. Chris would like an animal oracle. Oh, yes. Kimberly says she's done 2 amazing Reiki sessions this week, and I've gotten 1 step closer to getting started on buying the business of major. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Okay, so Michelle, how about I pick, I think, an oracle card. I'm really feeling them today. And hi, Bethany. Welcome. I was just sharing your ancestral tarot card reading, and if you just popped on and you didn't hear about that, I'm going to offer that to whoever refers the most quality people to this group by November 3rd, which is after the Samhain, the Celtic New Year, and or the Mexican holiday of Días de los Muertos, which is the Day of the Dead, where we honor our ancestors and loved ones who've passed on. So there, I'm just putting it out there. So if you know somebody who's amazing that would really benefit from the space here, please share, please share. And then let me know what kind of card you'd like. Herbal card, perfect. Okay, so let's get to what I was downloading from universe, spirit, whatever you want to say. And so lots of big pressure. Do what you need to do to cut back on responsibilities, or it will cost you precious life force. Being that it's Venus in retrograde, this concept of what, how we are relating to the other. This is second chakra energy, relationship to other. And the first chakra is all about your roots and your tribe, the belief systems that you carry. Then you move up to the second chakra, which is, of course, your reproductive organs, where you come together quite literally with the other and create new life. Or it's also your creative energy. It's also your energy of not just sex, but your personal power and how you share that power with others, and your money. So all of that is a similar currency and energy, okay? And so during this time frame, it may be something that you're becoming much more cognizant of, this energy of where you're directing your life force, and are much more sensitive when you know you're wasting it, especially in relationships, where you're giving your power away, where maybe you're doing something to somebody else that's not fair to them. And so you're becoming aware of that, okay? So the thought that it's okay for a little to be enough right now. What does that mean? Be careful not to overextend yourself to others, overcommit, thinking that you need to give so much in order to maintain the relationship, or expect too much from others. Like when you're not doing enough for yourself, you're going to then expect it from the other. And then that's where a lot of this painful attachment comes in. So triggers from early childhood attachment styles will probably crop up during this time. Venus in retrograde is all about, especially in Scorpio, which is all about the truth and your deepest passions and relationships. It's going to trigger you, and your deepest, fears or things that'll just bruise your ego really are coming up right now. I'll tell you an example when I get to what I went through on Friday, and this is a perfect example of Venus in retrograde and in Scorpio, okay? But avoid the dichotomy of overwhelm and scarcity. It doesn't have to be I'm overwhelmed, or if I don't have enough, I'm in scarcity, especially when in relationship to the other. This also applies to your money situation. Maybe during this time, it might be time to be frugal, but that doesn't mean it's not enough. It's that you are just going to spend less because the excess will really cost you. I think you could apply that to your energy that you engage with others as well. So be mindful of that, or it may be something that's coming up for you during this time. You're feeling exhausted, you're feeling irritated because you're giving too much, or you're getting irritated with others because you're not getting a quick enough response on a text message, or whatever. Like, I needed someone to do this for me by this time, and they're dragging their feet. That sort of not getting what I needed from the other may come up, but just let it go. Like, let it be enough that, well, they'll get to it when they get to it. I'm not going to make a story about it. Or your frustration with that is going to end up being more of a bother to you than them not showing up for you, if that makes sense. Okay, so Uranus and Taurus. This is another aspect that's been it's broad and sweeping. It started way back in May of this year, and a big part of it, it's been going on for about 7 years. It's going to continue until April 2020, and we go through periods of time where it becomes more intense, and this is one of those periods of time. So Uranus and Taurus, the aspect is, Taurus is all about our earthly grounding, structures that give us security, home, think home, or, just our foundational security. And Uranus is disruptive transformation. So it's like a whole new way of relating to others through a whole new way of relating to self. This isn't an overnight process. So just imagine that all the stuff that you're going through right now is going, you've got this Uranus in Taurus operating system going on in the background. So just understand that everything that you're feeling right now, maybe how you're relating to others, how you're spending your energy, is all about learning a new way of being through this Uranus and Taurus energy. Disruptive transformation. It's like transforming your identity from maybe somebody who had no boundaries to now, how do I manage myself as someone who is respectful of myself and my boundaries, or learning confidence in yourself, or just a new sense of identity through painful crap like divorce, financial, disarray, like foreclosures, repossessions. And if you find yourself saying, I never thought I'd be someone who fill in the blank, but then after you went through that experience, it led you to, or is leading you to, what you really want. My perfect example is my first marriage. I hated that experience, okay? I don't want to say I hated it. I mean, it was, now that I look back on it, I would not want to go through that ever again. But when I was going through it, it was exactly what I needed to be put in the right place to have the relationship I want now. Which also brings up my example of this Venus in retrograde, sort of people blindsiding you with their ego kind of thing. You may have like people projecting their ego onto you. And a perfect example, my ex decides to text me on Friday, getting upset with me, saying he uses me as an example for our children on how not to be financially irresponsible. And I was like really blindsided by it because it was kind of out of left field. It had nothing to do with what we were discussing in our text message, but it bruised my ego. And then at the same time, he was also projecting his own insecurities onto me. So if you may find you're getting some of that sort of blindsided, other people projecting their ego onto you, and it's also maybe causing you to have a self-identity crisis. Like, I never thought I was that way. That's some of the energy going on. Okay. So, but lots of planets in Scorpio, that's where some of this is coming from. Pretty much impatience with lack of truth. Like a lot of, let's just cut the shit already kind of feeling. Maybe you're never like real straight or blunt with somebody about something. But it's inspired by feelings of a deep need for truth. Which is what Scorpio is all about, or revelation of secrets, kind of like what happens in the dark will always come to light. And this is that come to light time. Like, you know what? Like, forever I felt this way and I wanted to keep it to myself. I didn't want to create conflict, whatever, but I just can't not say it at this point. Because there's an inability to be disingenuous, even if it's to the point of maybe being blunt and hurtful, because you just can't hold it in anymore. So again, be mindful of how you're spending that energy with others, or taking on other people's crap. Okay. So also there may be a little bit of destruction of your egoic self. You realize maybe some things you were pursuing during this time were ego driven, and you're realizing you're fooling yourself. So this is a great time to kind of go, where am I fooling myself? And maybe come to some painful realizations, but at the same time, it's all for your benefit in the end. So we got Mercury in Scorpio, which is all about blunt communication. Venus in Scorpio, which is also in retrograde, painful projections, from people seemingly out of nowhere. Then Jupiter in Scorpio, which is all that whole Me Too movement of like sexual shame and the truth around power, other people's power over us and their money and other people's money and power and what they do with it. It's probably why my ex kind of made those comments to me about my financial state. Like, it just doesn't make sense. But yeah, Jupiter and Scorpio, that's going to be ending in November. We're shifting into Sagittarius. Really quite looking forward to that break. I'm going to check the notes here, comments here. Yay. Yes. Oh, hi, Leslie. Hi, Sylvia. Welcome, Sylvia. I haven't seen you forever. Congrats on your new baby. Oh, beautiful pictures, by the way. Okay, so all that energy is going on. And in honoring this feeling of let it be enough, I decided I'm not going to light all my sage smudge and all that because I just don't want to right now. So I smudged earlier with my smudge spray, which is a lot easier, which is just enough to cleanse the area, but it's, you know, I don't have to go crazy, you know, getting out all my stuff. That's just a simple example of how to invest your energy where you want to. Because if you were to like do a thing that you decided, I really don't want to do it, you're gonna feel it. Okay, let's get started with this reading for this week. And by the way, it's okay to not do anything and be enough. I've really been feeling that lesson lately. It's okay to be lazy sometimes. I used to think being lazy was the worst thing in the world. And now I'm like, maybe I thought I was being lazy, but that was just my ego's projection. That hypervigilance from childhood of being a good child and, you know, needing to always do to prove my worth. Just start thinking about some of those themes and patterns that you're having in your life right now. So as I am shuffling these cards, I want to open up some sacred space here. And give me 1 second. Finish up on these. And from an ancestral standpoint, let's start with the East. To the winds of the East, we call you in, spirit of eagle, spirit of condor. This is the place of the rising sun, fire sign, fire element. This is also the place of our father's lineage. We call you in, we thank you, all the well ancestors of our father's lineage. Thank you for showing us the bird's eye view, eagle, all the winged ones, raven. Raven is a messenger from the void. The East is a place of the void, place to which we all start and to which we all end, the Alpha and the Omega. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Now the winds of the South, we call you in, spirit of snake, spirit of all the earth creatures, brother wolf, you know, sister beaver, all the little furry, four-legged, two-legged creatures. This is the earth energy. This is the summertime of our life. This is a full noon time of our day. This is our youth. This is also the place of our father's, mother's lineage. We welcome all the well ancestors to this reading right now. Thank you so much for your wisdom. Now to the winds of the west, we call you in. This is water element. This is the place of the setting sun, the place of letting go. This is the fall of our lifetime, rites of passage, being able to harvest all of the lessons of our lives. And this is also the place of our mother's lineage. We call upon spirit of whale, spirit of dolphin, all of the water creatures to help us through this process. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh. Now we call upon winds of the north, spirit of caribou, spirit of elk, spirit of buffalo, the ancient ones. This is the place of our ancestors, of place, of affinity, all of the lineages that maybe are not of blood, but of which we can call upon for counsel. The wise women, the medicine women, the medicine men, we call upon you. This is winter time. This is air element. This is wisdom of going within and knowing ourselves with the help of our counsel, our wise counsel. And it's also the nighttime of our life. So we thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome. Now we call upon Mother Earth. We love you so much. We thank you so much for holding us in your womb, for giving us beautiful, infinitely resourceful womb wisdom. Thank you for holding us and sustaining us all life. We thank you so much, Mother Earth. And then we call upon Father Sky for being here to watch over us, to give us the mysteries of the universe, for being the creator of all that is. And then to our star nations who watch over us, who keep an eye on us, and make sure we are safe. We thank you, thank you, thank you. Grandmother Moon, Grandfather Sun, we thank you for helping us to mark time and to enjoy the cycles of life. We thank you, thank you, thank you. To our spirit guides, that could be, for me, it's Brother Wolf, Sister Jaguar, Sister Raven, Brother Hawk, and Brother Bear, even showing up in leadership for me. Thank you so much for guiding me. Thank you to my archangels and other spirit guides who shall remain nameless. Thank you for being here. All right, let's get started. All right, so this card's going to be for Monday, Tuesday. This one's going to be for Wednesday, Thursday. This one's going to be for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And, of course, the energy of the week. All right. Five of Pentacles. Got some earth energy going on. That's mugwort. And by the way, I literally just put away some mugwort that, where is it at? Yep. How funny. I just got some mugwort in the mail and I set it up. It's got a distinct smell, and it always makes me think of Harry Potter, but that's Hogwarts. So let's look up mugwort and its medicinal qualities. Mercury and Taurus. So we got some energy. We know about Mercury. Taurus is kind of really earthy energy. A woman with crutches sits alone in the cold while people in the village are warm and comfortable in their homes. Either she's consciously chosen to simplify her life, or she has had to accept a drastic change in circumstances due to external conditions. I think this is talking about the need to be careful of how you're spending your time. Like we were talking, simplify your life. If you're feeling a lot of pressure, reduce your responsibilities. And you may be feeling pressure from the outside. Like, you know, you normally would have lots of time to relax and do the things you like to do, but you've got external responsibilities that maybe were added in. I'm thinking like kids programs at school that you didn't account for that are interrupting your time for, I don't know, family time, watching your favorite show that normally restores you. That kind of stuff where you sort of need to rebalance and decide that, okay, we didn't get our time to restore because we had to do this other obligation, but maybe I'm going to take out this other appointment later in the week so that I do still get that spaciousness that I'm looking for. Okay, so otherwise, you're going to start feeling that out in the cold, feeling frustration or going without or not enough, feeling really pressured with time. Be mindful of that. You get to decide how you spend your time and energy. Even if these changes are due to external influences, she must look inward to see what it is that has needed changing internally. Exactly. So no matter what's going on the outside, if you're going with the flow you're going to be in a much better position to take care of yourself. Most times, an unexpected event contains tremendous lessons. The universe wants us to evolve and to become more conscious of our inner stillness within the eternal changes. Okay, so this stupid text message I get from my ex that's talking about my financial state, I could have, it came out of nowhere, but it was painful. My little ego took a bruising, but it was good because it got me thinking about my money for once, and I haven't been thinking about it. So like these painful experiences can bring about positive change, okay? When we get too stuck in our thoughts and in life, we may unconsciously wish for change, and so the universe provides it. Okay, yeah, I probably unconsciously have been ignoring my financial situation, and now it's time. I really need to look at it. So this is just an example. Try not to get stuck in self-pity and regret. I'm not going to. I had a shitty year financially, but let me tell you, it released me from many things that no longer serve me, and I'm moving on. Don't let hardship define you. Let it maybe help shape you into knowing what you want, okay? Have faith that all things that occur are for further enlightenment. Exactly. Don't torment yourself about your relationships, money, home life, status, or friends that have left your circle. They've basically left you for a reason. So this is a perfect card, for me at least. I'm hoping it's meaningful for you. Look for the light at the end of the tunnel and affirm an inner faith as a new day unfolds. So spiritually, mugwort, it's a pungent herb that's been used for smudging. The Native Americans practice of burning herbs for protection and purification. Maybe I didn't want to burn sage because mugwort was called for at this time. It's been called a visionary herb as it seems to give one a clearer view of life, especially if you're feeling really pressured and clouded with other people's opinions and projections. Maybe use some mugwort to smudge your space and realize you see your perspective. What do I really think and feel? I'm getting overwhelmed in the sea of other people's nonsense, so let me decide what's mine is mine, what's yours is yours. Put it down, put other people's crap down. You don't have to carry other people's crap. You don't have to carry your own crap, frankly. You can decide, I don't need to worry about this. I am enough right now. Dream pillows are made from mugwort, and the aroma from this herb will augment the dream state and help one to remember it. For smudging, take dried mugwort and burn it in a fire-safe receptacle, like my little abalone shell. Just burn it like you would sage, and the smoke is used to purify oneself and the environment. The way I smudge, I wafted over my head. You can also use a feather fan if you have one available, but your hand works just fine. There's honestly, I don't want to say the wrong way to smudge. It's your intention. So you can get some mugwort and smudge with that. A ceremony or prayer circle is enhanced with the use of this wonderful herb. While the changes indicated by the Five of Pentacles are being made, be still and ask for help and guidance. It's good to clear yourself of energetic debris constantly. And like I was saying a couple weeks ago, clear, clear, and clear again. Like during this intense energy, it's not like you're just going to be one and done. It's something you're going to do regularly. You can even brush yourself, okay? Like literally just take your hand. I had a phone call this morning and it was like, okay, I just didn't like the way I felt afterward, and I just literally was like, okay, moving on. Let's get the energy moving, get it out of me. Another thing, when I want to add to this too, do some literal breathing exercises to get this out of you. Like if you're smudging with mugwort, use the smoke and the breathing to move energy in you. Okay, this is somatic, like an embodying exercise, and many of us who don't necessarily know how to move stagnant energy out of our bodies, it's because we're disconnected from our body. We've been all up in our head. We've been dissociated because we're in trauma. We always go to that memory, and it may not even be like a huge trauma like a car accident or whatever, you know, you keep reliving that stupid text message from your ex, and all of a sudden you've been mulling on it for 30 minutes, and where did I go? Where did my spirit go? It's been over in this stupid memory for 30 minutes. Call your spirit back. And you can do this with mugwort. It helps you get clear on what is yours and what is the others, and what you don't need to keep projecting your spirit out, sending your spirit on a mission that it doesn't need to be at. Call your spirit back, okay? So, Five of Pentacles. Obviously, don't use it internally when you're pregnant. I really don't use a lot of herbs internally unless it's in a tea that I know is safe. So the keywords is letting go of the old, making way for changes to occur, freedom from the restrictions of the past. This is also a time where the fall, this time is all about cleaning up crap from the winter of 2017-18 and into the spring. We're sort of revisiting stuff that happened for us in April 2018. Think back on what you were doing then, what happened for you. And some of this stuff may be coming up now, but it's resolving. You're tying up loose ends. A lot of things that like maybe felt stagnant, didn't move over the spring and summer, are now getting cleared out. And it's time to move on and let go of the old. So this is a great affirmation. I see the richness in my spirit and acknowledge my inner values. Okay. All right, that's for Monday, Tuesday. I think it's a good way to start out the week, actually. Let go of all the crap that's not serving you. All right, let's do Wednesday, Thursday. Echinacea, one of my favorite herbs. If you've never taken echinacea, it can feel really strange on your tongue. It's like a weird burning kind of numbing sensation, almost like spicy. So echinacea, temperance, ruled by Sagittarius, is an idealistic and adventurous person. Her blue garment is in the yin, watery, intuitive self, and the red belt is the yang, fire element of action. I don't know if you can see that picture right there. Okay. The rising sun shows that a new life is unfolding. Its golden color represents divine light and the fire within that lets one dare to honor inner values. This is definitely when you start honoring yourself and how you're feeling and how you're spending your energy, your life will be different for you. When you go places, you won't feel drained because you know I'm not going to stay longer than I need to. Or the people that you're attracting are people who respect your boundaries, that sort of thing. Or when you're with other people, you have a more positive effect on them because you've decided not to project your crap onto them. Or, you know, maybe ask more of them than you're asking of yourself. So the solar emblem on her brow is the sixth chakra opening. This is receptive to the guidance given to her by those beings who are forever vigilant to the needs of the aspirant. Okay, your spirit guides. Sixth chakra is your third eye, second sight. After coming through death, which was the card before, or all the crap you went through in the past and you're now moving through, she's ready to experiment with her new life and is working on balancing the polarities within. Through trial and error and with intuition and logic, she will transform energy into artistry. She's the union of the male, female, water, fire. In her dealing with the public, she's learning how to temper herself through cooperation, compatibility, and communication. And she's learning to manage her resources, to organize and plan, and she is aware of what needs healing and is bringing more balance to those areas. So pay attention to where your energy is going. Yes. Oh. All right, I see Bethany left a note. She's had to pop off. Okay. All right. So now, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, do you see that? 4 wands. Fennel seed. Wands is fire energy. It's always good to have fire on the weekends. Okay, in many ancient traditions, it is the angels or devas who concern themselves with the maintenance of all existence in life. Okay, what came to me immediately was you don't necessarily have to be doing something. let your spirit guides, let universe, let spirit handle it. Let them be a co-creator. Here we find two of these experiencing the joy of a day's completion. You did your part. You did the spiritual, energetic work. You maintained your boundaries. You did what you needed to do to learn whatever life lesson, and now let spirit assimilate it for you. Create space to just sit back, relax, and receive, okay? Implicit in this scene is a subtle need to release the tension and pressure involved in completing a task and to experience completion before going on to the next task. Again, that assimilation. Give yourself time for closure and to celebrate an ending. Okay, how do we do this? Making time to be together and play is one important method, which also teaches the value of cooperation and prevents the dangers of egocentricity and over-seriousness. Yeah, if we're really like overly concerned with our soul journey or whatever, I think like that's the time to go watch a really stupid movie, like something with Chris Farley in it, because we get way too serious, and it interrupts the seriousness to like go have fun and play. Don't be worried about your to-do list. Sometimes you got to put it down and let it go, and because you'll never be done with it completely, right? This is saying, though, when you are done with a task, honor that and celebrate it. And I would say, I encourage you to instill purposely moments of rest and play. Like, okay, now this is a scheduled break time. Because otherwise you'll feel like I'm never going to be done with my work. You're going to feel like Cinderella, okay? Give your time, schedule in time for the ball, okay? Another message of this card is to allow talents and skills to flow and be shared. Be unafraid to live up to your potential. Allow your inner light to shine through. So fennel will allow a greater sense of groundedness and joy to permeate one's being. Rub fennel oil on the soles of the feet and dance to the rhythms of life. I always remember fennel as something you can eat after you, the fennel seeds you chew on, kind of like a breath mint, but it also helps you aid in digestion. This will help you assimilate all the things you've been through and process it. You can get the nutrients, the wisdom out of everything. Okay, so carry fennel seeds in a pouch and smell them during the day so you can breathe in their magic or their message. Use the oil as well for this purpose. The herbal essence may be taken to reinforce the idea of playfulness. Okay. Keywords: completion, pleasant thoughts. Moving on to the next cycle. So we may be feeling a break in some of this, like pressurized, tense feeling. If you get through the week, by the weekend, you're gonna have a break. Okay. I feel greater confidence by quietly recognizing my many gifts and accomplishments. And you may feel that sense of satisfaction when you maybe adequately maintain your schedule and don't go crazy this week. I know I do a lot of meaning making if I get myself over scheduled and then, oh, I should have known better. Now, it's my fault. I feel, relax. Don't do any of that to yourself. Okay. We haven't had this one in a while, but I really like this. And I would say I'm feeling Grandmother Moon's energy quite a bit. We had a new moon a couple days ago. She's waxing right now. Her energy is building up. And I think the moon right now is in, I want to say Sagittarius. Hold on. Moon in Sagittarius. So the moon stays in a sign for 2 days. So we're going to be moving on to Capricorn and then, so forth over the next few weeks, or next 7 days. So Sagittarius, Capricorn, what comes after that? Hello, Aquarius, and then Pisces maybe. So the moon, lemon balm is the herb here. And when we think about what the moon is doing right now, its energy is slowly expanding over the next couple of days, because it's getting closer and closer to the full moon on the 24th. Okay. So think about what you're sort of gestating over the next week or two. That's sort of like the energy around this. Okay. The moon, ruled by Pisces, is in charge of our evolution, both physically and spiritually. As we recognize our self-unfoldment, we must confront our hidden fears and the shadow side of ourselves. Our bodies must reflect and incorporate the old and new energies with which we now function. So if you're doing everything with intention this week, pay attention to that. Because if you're not doing it with intention and you're still by default having these feelings, remember that operating system in the background, Uranus, Taurus, that transformation, just remember that you're doing all this for to evolve to a new way of being. And so if you're conscious about what that new way of being is, that's what's going to get augmented during this time as Grandmother Moon is waxing. Or if you're unconscious and you're secretly reinforcing insecurities or whatever, you're going to augment some of that energy as well. So it's better to be intentional about what you're augmenting. Our bodies must reflect and incorporate the old and new energies with which we now function. During sleep, moon energies process the changes that we go through in all aspects of our being, body, mind, and spirit. The moon also helps us to realize that forces greater than our own thoughts guide our evolution. Okay, there's this other sense again of let a little be enough, because let spirit do the rest, okay? You want to allow space to assimilate, space to let spirit take over. Just imagine it's kind of like putting one of those like little lantern boats in the ocean and then letting the tide take it out. Wherever it's going to go, let spirit handle that, okay? Let that be your thought and intention, okay? The moon has long been thought of as the grandmother, the mother of the earth. Her reflected sunlight is part of the dreamscape of forms and ideas which are to be and which have been. All things blend in her light, and the forms are softened. The primal yin energy that she emanates calls forth in us feelings and emotions that have long been hidden. Okay, that's a lot of that Scorpio energy. What's hidden is coming out. She's the Piscean mist that sees all things as part of the flowing divine life force. The moon is the water and the substance of life. The scorpion on the moon card represents the self-centered ego. Okay, like I said, you may have some bruised ego moments this week. When the scorpion's internal reality changes, it can step out of its shell and move on to the next form, which is the lizard, a creature with the ability to regenerate itself physically. The rock represents the mineral kingdom and its evolution, and the plant is a representative of the plant kingdom's evolution. The idea of evolution, metamorphosis, and doing what is instinctive are all part of the moon's pull. Again, this is Uranus and Taurus, okay? The moon is reminding us that you have a soul journey path, and sometimes the disruptive transformations that you're going through is all there to move you forward on your evolution. Okay, so that was the, yes, I like fennel. To me, it tastes a little licorice-y, but I remember when we used to go eat Indian food, they would have like candy-coated fennel seeds that you would just take like a spoonful of and chew on afterward. They taste like good and plenties. And that's funny because let a little be enough. Let a little be good and plenty for us right now. So, all right, let's pull one herbal card for Bethany, now that I have the herbal deck still out. And by the way, that concludes the group card reading. Okay. So this one's for Bethany. Five of Wands, and one of my favorite plant medicine, turmeric. Turmeric is an excellent anti-inflammatory. Perfect for joint pain. I use it for helping with endometriosis because it's inflammation of your tissues. Really excellent. I love it. Especially for like migraine pain, like weird nerve pain, things you can't, just overall autoimmune inflammation, that sort of thing. Okay, so, and of course Saturn in Leo is the planet that rules this, and the sign that rules this. Okay, here we have 5 hands representing differences of race and political alliance, brandishing their staffs in a contentious manner. The card represents strife, prejudice, conflict, opposition, and disagreement. Such conflict and rivalries can drain our energies and divert us from more fruitful pursuits and endeavors. So, Bethany, I would say that this week you may get pulled into other people's drama. That saying, not my circus, not my monkeys, be really mindful of that. Even wars are not possible when our thoughts and efforts are fruitfully preoccupied with building strength from within. Therefore, to feel threatened is to betray our inner weakness that is better examined before we react. Let us not forget that when open conflict seems the only choice, it represents in some way the personal failure in dealings with our own shortcomings, as well as an inability to communicate that which we feel to be vital to our survival and well-being. It's really important for you to speak your mind and to be very self-preservative about what you need this week. Don't get into other people's mess. What's mine is mine, what's yours is yours. It's always worth considering the innate weakness and vulnerability that has led us to such confrontations. Like, don't waste your time engaging in a confrontation, okay? And whether strengthening those areas of weaknesses might not be of greater value. You know, yeah, I could easily get upset at my ex for this stupid text that he sent me. Can you tell I'm butthurt about it? But then it's wasting my time and I'm being butthurt a whole weekend about it. So that's what this is saying. Like, if it's bringing up a weakness in you and your ego is reacting to it, okay, learn from it, but let go of the conflict, okay? By doing so, we might have the best chance of averting further loss and decimation of reserves that is attendant to all conflicts. I like that, decimation of reserves. You have reserves of energy that I'd like to think are infinite if we're tapped into source, but physically we have finite, what's called jin, J-I-N. It's kind of like the life force that we've agreed to hold on to in this physical world. And so you can give away precious jin by engaging in things that you know are draining you. So just, again, be mindful of what it's costing you to engage with other people. Turmeric root is included as an herb of the fire element because of its warm, stimulating effects on digestion and circulation, together with its spicy and bitter flavor. It's something that they add into curries, an Indian spice combination that blends exotic spices such as coriander, cumin seed. Okay, I am going to butcher this. Asafoetida, I hope I said that right, and cayenne pepper to stimulate appetite by adding flavor and color to aid the digestion and assimilation of food. Okay, turmeric is really good for helping diminish PMS and regulating the menses. That's why I absolutely love it. And it regulates blood sugar. It is one of the most valuable herbs for the prevention and treatment of gallstones. If you have, okay, the gallbladder meridian is actually, if your gallbladder is out, your whole body will feel it, because it literally goes from like here all the way around, down, over, inward to your abdomen, all the way down your outside of your leg, okay? So if you are prone to hamstring pain, your iliotibial band pain, it's probably your gallbladder. And so turmeric's going to help you wake up and stimulate that gallbladder energy. So anyways, and I know that's why turmeric is so amazing to me. Keywords: opposition, strife, suppression, disagreement, conflict. But I don't think that that's what you're going to have. I think it's that you are going to be aware of when you see it, when not to engage. It's only there to be a source for you to learn how to reserve your energy, okay? Anger is the measure of fear. Love is the measure of faith. And of course, you would rather measure love. Okay, so that's the herbal deck for now. Let's see what we can get. Let's do the oracle cards next. All right, let me shuffle these. They're a lot less jumpy. Usually they like to like fly all over the place when I'm. And today, I don't see that. Maybe they're settling in. Okay. First one for Courtney. Next is Kimberly. Okay, Rebecca and Michelle. All right. So Chris said, do you just put turmeric in some warm water and drink it, or mix with tea? Okay, so turmeric can be used a couple of ways. I prefer to get turmeric tea bags done. You can get them at HEB easy, like $2.99. HEB's at the grocery store down here in Texas. Or you can get a mix of, it's called golden milk. Gaia, G-A-I-A, is a brand that has golden milk. And then they also have turmeric itself. They like to mix it with black pepper. And you can just put spoonfuls of it in a nut milk, like almond milk, or even coconut milk if you want. I don't recommend actual milk, but almond milk mixed with the golden milk mix is really good. You can get that at Sprouts, Whole Foods. You can buy it on Amazon. Look up Gaia golden milk. I'll see if I can find it. But I drink just the straight tea, and it's really amazing. But I've had both, and they both, I've even mixed turmeric, just the powder, in with vanilla shakes for, you know, a shake or whatever, a smoothie, and you can have it that way as well. By itself, it's pretty bitter. So I think they like to mix it with black pepper. It tends to make it a little spicier, a little more palatable or palatable, or however you want to say it. That's how I drink it. Okay. This is for Courtney. Ooh, Upper World. I love this card. I love these cards. They're beautiful. Upper World in the shamanic world is all about the spirit world. Okay, the middle world is here in like Middle Earth, not to be confused with hobbits. And the lower worlds, of course, the underworld, where you also enter the spirit realm of your shadow. So the upper world is your higher self, really. That's my interpretation of it. But you're also entering the spirit world where other spirits reside. So, angels, divine helpers, the ancient ones, and all varieties of luminous beings populate the upper world. It is the place where you go to retrieve your destiny and find out who you will become, discover your great potentials and undreamt of possibilities. It is also the place where the spirits of the dead arrive when they complete their journey to the light, where your ancestors are. The upper world is calling you to step into your fully realized self. Clear distractions so that you can move into a higher destiny. Definitely the theme of this week. Preserve your energy. Don't let anything pull you out of alignment. Do not fall to the temptation to craft a slightly more improved version of yourself. What you perceive as a problem or an obstacle is in fact the irritation you need to take the great leap. Remember, you cannot cross the Grand Canyon in 2 small jumps. Okay, so it's funny. I have another one of my interviews coming up this week with Darcy Iverson, relationship love coach, and we talk about our anxieties and attachment styles, and where she says, and here it says, do not hold the temptation to craft a slightly more improved version of yourself. Take flaws and all and lean into them. Don't think, I need to fix all this crap, then I'll be perfect or worthy. No, you're perfect and worthy right now, and lean into that. Lean into all the things that you think are flaws, and Darcy talks about this more this week. Wednesday, 7 o'clock, sorry, shameless plug, 7 o'clock Central Time. But it needs to be reiterated because it was an excellent point she made in our interview, that you don't have to fix everything, okay? You are perfect where you are at and for you, okay? What you perceive as a problem or an obstacle is in fact the irritation you need to take the great leap. Kind of like me with this stupid text from my ex. It's time for me to examine my finances again. It's time for me to quit burying my head in the sand. Was it painful? But it was this, smack that I needed. It was the kick in the pants that I needed. Whatever somebody's going to trigger you this week about a flaw, but it's going to be something that you're going to lean into, and it's not going to be perceived as something that makes you inferior. It's just something that'll move you towards your higher self, okay? So, don't meaning make around it. All right, that's for Courtney. Next one's for Kimberly. The serpent. Ooh, brother snake, we love you. Time to shed old skin and be in a constant state of renewal. Fluid. Maybe perhaps misunderstood. The serpent is the life force of Mother Earth. The coiled serpent of the Kundalini brings passion, healing, and renewal. She offers us the fruit of the tree of knowledge in the Garden of Eden. God of Enki, right? In Sumerian mythology. Enki actually was on our side. If you look at ancient civilizations, the serpent got a bad rap for being, evil and wanting to tell us stuff we don't need to know. But Enki is the Sumerian god, whereas brother Enlil, the other Sumerian god, he didn't want us to know. Enlil didn't want us to know how to make tools and how to move ourselves out of slavery. But serpent, the god Enki, wanted to help us and free us from slavery of our minds, of spirit. So Enki, the serpent, reminds us to shed the past the way she sheds her tired old skin. Serpent comes to offer you the forbidden fruit that will set your passion and creativity free. So the serpent power of the Kundalini is stirring within your chakras, gently asking you to embrace its mystery. Kundalini is quite a mystery to some people. It's kind of like chi, life force, or prana, but it's a very intentional aspect of it, where Kundalini, you have the golden snake on the right side of your body, which represents the male yin or yang energy, and the other side, the black snake, is the yin. And if you've ever seen like a caduce symbol with the snakes kind of wrapping around, that's sort of symbolic of what the Kundalini energy is. It's supposed to, people talk about a major Kundalini awakening, where it just sort of like, it's a very powerful physical experience. And I would say that I've been told migraine headaches are related to Kundalini energy, and I know this sounds weird, but Kundalini and sexual energy, the Tantra will talk about that, and it's representative of two snakes or two serpents moving within the body, okay? So the Kundalini is stirring within your chakras and gently asking you to embrace its mystery. Shed the old skin you have been so attached to and welcome the vulnerable pink underbelly that will bring you a fresh experience of your life. Your passion and sexuality are awakening, and this can be scary. Like I would say, just look up Kundalini awakening, and people talk about it as a religious experience or the most frightening thing they've ever experienced in their life. Many are in between. But it can be a very intense physical experience. Trust the wisdom of serpent to transform your sensual energies into beautiful original manifestation. This may also be inviting you to take on more in your energetic vessel, meaning being able to sustain more wealth, being able to sustain more. You're talking about purchasing your dream business. This is that serpent kundalini energy, the ability to create, because the kundalini starts in your root, right? And it comes all the way up through all the chakras, okay? It's your ability to process and hold energy in your body and your creative abilities. So this is asking you to embrace that creativity, embrace your ability to receive more, to create more. Okay, so I think that's really appropriate for you this week. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of this energy. Like, let yourself expand into the intense sensation of more. But again, under the premise of let a little be enough. So slowly, by degrees, allow a little bit more expansion into your life, and then a little bit more and a little bit more, because you don't want it to become overwhelming, okay? That's how you will expand your energetic vessel, a little bit at a time, okay? All right, this next one is for Rebecca. Ooh. Okay, the journey is an invitation to step outside the boundaries of your life as you know it. The journey is not a holiday. It is a call to be hermit-like and to go on a pilgrimage into the unknown. I was literally thinking pilgrimage before I read that. And I don't think I pulled this card before. There are no maps to the territory you will be exploring, no marked paths or road signs. You're going to be pretty much taking the machete and whacking the weeds out of the way, being a trailblazer, okay? It's going to feel scary. You don't know what's in the grass ahead of you, but you're doing it anyway. You're taking that step, and it's like shrouded in mist, and you don't know if the path's going to rise up to meet you, but you're doing it with faith, right? The time to embark on the great journey is here. This is symbolic of the spiritual journey, the soul journey. Do not linger in the port when distant shores are calling. I can safely say anxiety, migraines, physical manifestations of pain or illness come about when you are not going to the thing that your spirit is calling you to, okay? Fearlessly draw your own navigational charts as you discover the route. When the time is right, something came to me too. You don't look for maps, don't look to anybody else, because they can't tell you what your route is, okay? You have to decide for yourself, okay? When the time is right, as it is now, you will be led true by your higher self, even when you're not sure of where you're going. It is the departure that is the most important, like taking the leap, moving towards that which your spirit is calling you to. Stop pulling yourself back and holding yourself back. It's time to do it, okay? If you miss the boat, a great opportunity will be lost and another ship may not arrive for a very long time. All right, there you go. Okay, this last oracle card is for Michelle. The Gatherer. Okay, let's see if we got some more comments here. Woo! All right. Kimberly says, thank you. I'll be exploring this further. This business venture has been very slow and steady. I feel really good about it. It is enough. I am enough. Yes, absolutely. I seriously love this card pull each week. I resonate with you better than any other live. Oh, thank you so much. I know great things are coming for you. I'm really excited for you in this new business venture. Please let us know how it goes. Okay. Bless you as well. All right. The Gatherer for Miss Michelle. Uh, I'm really adoring these oracle cards. They're just like just the right essence. Okay. Before we cultivated greens, we collected the wild bounty of nature. The gatherer finds abundant seeds, nuts, berries, and wild greens where the ordinary person sees only barren soil. The gatherer is the provider, the forager, and the gardener who collects roots and vegetables for the long winter when game is scarce. She does not hoard, trusting the bounty around her. This is totally around that energy of maybe don't spend as much this week, and you may be gathering a little less, but it's going to be enough, okay? Look at the resources you already have close at hand. This is a time of abundance. Again, abundance is like a sense of enough and then some, right? So everything around you is ripe and ready for harvest. Banish the notions of scarcity that have limited your choices and colored your destiny. So you may be, maybe for all outward intensive purposes, in a position of scarcity, but you have everything you need, and everything you need is going to get provided for you. So pack your food for the winter and start with the low-hanging fruit that is all around you. There's plenty of support for you, and you don't need to take on too much to get it, okay? That's good. That's for Michelle. Okay. All right, Bridget. Let's pull an animal card for you. That concludes the oracle cards. Let me know, Bridget, in the future if you would like a oops, let's knock over some cards here. Either these animal cards or these ones, because these are really good too. Okay. All right, so let's do the original animal cards, the medicine cards. I like these two because they're strictly North American, native, indigenous philosophy. Okay, let me shuffle these real quick. This is for Bridget. Bridget, who has an amazing page called Feline Intuition. An animal keeper. An animal whisperer, a cat whisperer. She can help you with your pets who have crossed over. All right. Oh, you're welcome, Michelle. Hi, Samantha. Welcome. I haven't seen you in a while. All right. This is for Bridget. Okay. Oof. I literally, blue heron's been on my mind. Okay. Blue heron is one of my totem animals. Crane is second chakra energy for me. That's my, when you do your totems for all your chakras, crane or heron showed up for me. And heron is all about just what do herons do? They are able to stay steady in like strong currents. And I think that's what you need right now, this beautiful heron energy. Okay. Blue heron, thank you, sacred water bird, for sending reflections to me. The mirrors of a quest for life, the worlds that live inside of me. Show me how relationships work, with my path woven within the whole. The lessons of kinship with all life, reflecting my spirit's eternal goal. So blue heron's all about self-reflection. Heron medicine is the power of knowing the self by discovering its gifts and facing its challenges. It is the ability to accept all feelings and opinions without even denying any emotion or thought. Heron flies over those who are unaware of who they are and where they belong in the world, gently dropping a blue feather to them. Heron asks that they follow their intuition and begin the empowering journey of self-realization. Again, it's that the currents around you, like other people's projections. This Heron's great for learning boundaries and who am I compared to you. If the great blue heron has flown into your cards today, it is urging you to dive into the watery world of feelings to seek your truth. Heron teaches you to develop your self-reflective skills so that you may come to know yourself in an intimate way. Looking at yourself through the filmy lens of self-importance, the cloudy perceptions of low self-worth, or the myopic eyes of self-pity, you will never understand your true potential or appreciate the opportunities that are here. This is perfect for Venus retrograde. And all of our fears around how we relate to ourselves, and if we connect to another, they'll see all the ways in which we're not honoring ourselves. And so Heron is really good for that. This is a great time. This is a great card for you right now. Heron asks you to examine yourself with a cold eye to see what you wish to improve and how you want to change. You know, let go of the ego. You might feel a little bruising of the ego for some things. You know, well, you know, maybe I am a little too judgmental and I drove that guy off, or, you know, whatever story you've been telling yourself. Like, you know, I had to like soften my edges quite a bit in order to receive what I needed from my partner. So if you get stuck in the process, it may be a sign that you are being too hard or critical. Here we go. Choosing to blame others and constantly pointing a finger at life's situations instead of claiming responsibility for your actions shows that you lack the courage to face the enemy within. You know, I felt like every time I said, you know what, you're right, I was wrong. For half a second, it feels like you're giving away power. But right underneath that is that current of strength and a feeling of, I know who I am. And I'm strong enough to stand in myself and say, okay, yeah, I've made mistakes. I know who I am. I can admit it. And I'm big enough and I'm strong enough of a person. And I know who I am. I know that sense of self. So it takes nothing from me to admit my flaws because I'm okay one way or another. So, Heron medicine people are willing to look at themselves and see the truth of their motives, actions, feelings, dreams, goals, inner strengths, and inner weaknesses. In balancing those truths, Heron's medicine shows you how to meet the challenges of your personal weaknesses and how to continue developing the skills that lead to inner strength and certainty of purpose. Are you willing to dive into the watery depths of your own feelings and discover the role of your spiritual essence? Heron is now calling you to delve deeper, to know yourself and to trust your path, okay? Like the phoenix who rises from its own ashes, Heron emerges from the unseen worlds of spirit into a new balanced sense of self in order to embrace its potential again and again. New balanced sense of self. That's really a good place for you right now. The magnificence of your human spirit lies waiting for the joy of discovery if you are courageous enough to follow the water bird throughout the journey. Heron reminds you that every traveler on life's journey is a messenger, and that every destination is the beginning of a new life cycle on the medicine wheel. Yes, good. Love Heron medicine. Okay. That was for Bridget. And now Chris. Animal oracle cards. Okay. Yay! All right, I'm reading Samantha's note. Okay, so Chris, were you saying, and you please, do you want, okay, I'm going to read you one of these animal spirit cards, okay? The animal oracle card. I'm a little confused. Did you want a medicine card or a spirit animal oracle card? It's confusing. Okay. All right, so this card is for Chris. Lizard spirit. Oracle message is dream the world into being. When was the last time you basked in the sun and allowed yourself to daydream, to imagine what might be and who you might become? This is similar to the medicine cards, where the story was of lizard and snake, and lizard recognized that it was safe to let snake come in because, you know, he had his eyes closed and he was dreaming, because he could see in the dream world that snake had already eaten and he wasn't going to eat him. So lizard spirit appears when you're called to let your imagination flow and dream something new. Inspiration is available to you now if you're willing to slow down and let your eyes close a little, allowing ideas to dance in your head. Dream a little bit. What might come into being if you were to pursue your dream? What is your dream? How might you grow and expand if you allowed yourself to dare to believe in the impossible, making it possible first in your dreaming mind and then in the world as you co-create with spirit? Give in to the power of imagination, and soon your dream will become clearer. The steps will reveal themselves, and what was ephemeral will begin to coalesce into form. Dream it and be it. Spirit asks you to dare to dream big. Okay? Here you go. Awesome. I don't know, that was pretty straightforward, so it's wanting you to do it. Dream big, do it. Okay? Just a reminder, anybody who refers, you know, quality participants, people who can really, really appreciate what we do here in this group, the most of those, you know, most participants that they've added to the group, by November 3rd, which is after the Dia de los Muertos celebration here. November is October 31st, 1st and 2nd, November 1st and 2nd. And then, of course, the Samhain celebration of the Celtic New Year, which is, you know, overnight. It's sundown on October 31st. Anyways, they honor our ancestors, okay? And in honor of honoring our ancestors, I will give a Samhain Ancestor Tarot reading, to a private one on Zoom, to anyone who, to the winner, the person who refers the most quality participants to my Facebook group. That said, I'm formally announcing that this Wednesday is I believe it's 4th week of my Discovering the Empowered Self interview series, A Healing Journey from Early Childhood Trauma. And I will be, I was talking about my interview with Darcy. Darcy's coming up on, I believe, the 24th, but this upcoming one is October 17th, and that's for Sama Morningstar. Sama is a womb priestess. I've personally worked with her to do shamanic womb healing, and very gentle spirit, very much honors the feminine. And we talk about how when we were formed in the womb, in our mother's womb, how that creates a blueprint for our life, and how if our mother was stressed out, we kind of bathe ourselves in her stress hormones, and how that can create developmental trauma for us. And so and how to overcome that and get stress out of the body using somatic therapy and those sort of things. And so really awesome conversation. I love talking with Salma. She's, again, like I said, a beautiful feminine womb priestess, very gentle spirit. I love talking with her. And so I hope you can join us on my business page this Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Time. We're going to do a Facebook Live. That's basically just to kind of promote the actual interview itself, which will be included in the link of the Facebook Live. So I hope you can make it. Love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Have an amazing Sunday. I'm going to enjoy my Sunday and watch the second episode of the new season of The Walking Dead tonight. So yay! All right. May you enjoy your week. Preserve your energy. Take care of yourselves. Love you. Thanks for being here. Bye for now.